I found this so interesting because like I'm thinking about the real serious tone that you kind of need to strike with the girl that you're doming. And then I think about how I communicate with girls where I'm joking around, I'm trying to make them laugh, I'm really like talking to them, asking them their thoughts on things, et cetera, et cetera. Like that's just not the aura that you're trying to cultivate
this
when
aura,
you're doing that.
You have to be, if you're the dom, you have to be serious at all times.
Yeah.
It ain't no making them laugh. It ain't no joking and none of that. Now, and I always tell people, it's almost like being an actor. You got to get into character.
Yeah, you're Batman.
You have to get into this character to where you're doing shit to her. You can't laugh. You can't be amused, because if you laugh, that's going to break her concentration.
Right.
And she's going to think that it's a plaything.
Yeah.
So you got to always keep that serious tone and that serious energy. Now, after the scene is over, and you're doing what we call aftercare, because a lot of time, if you put a woman into subspace, and a subspace is basically when you either f the shit out of her so good to where she's orgasm and came so much, she doesn't realize what the fuck is going on around her. And she's just responding to whatever you make her do. And her body is just like limp. It's just under your full control. That can either happen sexually or it can happen physically by you doing impact play, spanking them with paddles, spanking them with whips. They can take, some women pain tolerance is so high, they can take so much pain and you'll bruise their ass up, their titties up, their bodies up, and they won't tell you to stop. That's because they've zoned out.
Hey, they give birth.
Yeah, they got in this zone now.
They're capable.
So now all this shit that would hurt somebody normally, it doesn't bother them. They're just taking it. So that's why they said it's up to you to be in control, because you have to know when is enough. Because she's not going to know. Once she zones out and get into subspace, she has no idea. So you're responsible for her safety. So if you bruising a woman up and you see all these, you thinking to yourself like, man, she not going to tap out. You got to know when to tap her out. Because if not, she won't tap out.
Right.
And see, once you do that, she's hooked on you. She's hooked in this space mentally. So now you have to provide what they call aftercare. Because if you don't do aftercare, when you leave her, she can zone out and be in this depressed state for days. Because this is the way you left her. So what aftercare entails is where after the scene is done, you may take her, come on, baby, lay next to me. You might rub her, tell her, good girl, you did a great job today. I'm my daddy. I'm really impressed by what you did. You hung in there great. Stroke her hair, rub on her. If she's bruised up, you might want to take some cream, rub on her bruises, kind of soothe the pain. And this is bringing her back to her normal self, because right now she's in that state. And so by you doing all this kind of stuff and talking to her, getting into her mental and providing care to her physically, she's starting to realize, okay, now it's okay. I can come back to being myself. He's taking care of me. Daddy got me covered. And that's what she has in her mind. And if you don't provide her with that type of care and you leave her in subspace, she can be broke for days.
Is it hard? Because I know for myself, I've had weeks where I shot, 5, 6 scenes in the course of a week. And that's when I could kind of fuck up and like all of a sudden it's like, shit, it's like a little harder to finish or whatever. Does that happen to you? Because I feel, or did it happen during your era? Because I feel like you just, when you're doing too much of it, all of a sudden sex kind of loses that allure. And on the other hand, if you haven't had sex in a week, 2 weeks, you get some pussy, it's like, oh, this is the best thing ever. It's like,
that's why you have to add things into it.
Right.
And that's really why what went wrong with these relationships where the women start stepping outside is because their husbands became boring. He didn't want to experience. He didn't want to experiment on different shit. And so she stuck to what they call this vanilla sex. I eat your pussy, you suck my dick, we're done. And that's repetitive for years. But now she's reading these books. She's seeing this shit on social media. She's seeing these movies. And they just came out a movie with Nicole Kidman called Baby Girl. Just came out at the movies about 4 or 5 months ago.
Okay.
I watched it. I streamed it a while back. And it's talking about exactly what we're talking about.
Really?
It's a movie that came out at the theaters. And so I'm like, okay, so people are still into this shit. This movie just came out a couple of months ago, and it's talking about this. It's based on the same thing we're talking about right now.
That's interesting.
And it's starring Nicole Kidman. It's a good show. Check it out. And so that lets me know. So that's why when I started writing the book and stuff, and I would start telling people about it, somebody introduced me to somebody that's over a production company called Global Media Productions, and he's the senior vice president over the company. And she connected me and him together because she thought that he would be a good fit as far as me getting my material out on film and stuff like that. So once I started talking to him, which is my boy Joe, once I started talking to him, he started hearing my stories like I'm telling you guys right now. And he was like, man, we got to do something with this. We got to put this on script. People need to see this. People need to know about this lifestyle with Black people and people of color being in this lifestyle. He's like, nothing has ever been done on that level.
True.
And so we got together, man, and we came up with the idea, and we based the script and a lot of the things that's going to be on the show off my book.
Okay.
And I bought one of the showrunners with me, Marquise Moore, and my boy Joe right here. He's the producer.
Oh, nice.
And these are guys that we have a TV show that we're working on right now based off the book that's going to come out. And we're going to start filming that real soon. And we already got Munchie to agree to be a part of it.
Oh, wow.
And I would like to bring these guys on to the panel if I can, and just let them tell y'all a little bit more about what we're doing and where we're going with that show.
Okay, let's kind of wrap it up with some of that, because we're gonna have to get another mic at a certain point. But let me just ask this question too: how many years did you actually do this throughout your career? And then we could kind of talk about how you sort of came to an end with.
Hold on, how long was you pretending? Because you was faking it till you make it. How long you was faking it till you make it, and then how long you was doing your thing?
I only faked it till I made it until I felt confident enough.
How long was that, though?
That took maybe 4 or 5 months.
Okay.
Doing it here and there.
Yeah, doing it here and there. And then it became a thing to where those are only type of relationships that I was looking for.
Okay.
It got to the point to where I was like, man, if she's not submissive or if she's not into this type of shit, vanilla women are boring to me now.
Really?
So now if I date somebody that's not in that lifestyle, then she would have to been open to learning about it. Because I always tell them, man, I'm not your regular type dude.
Right.
I am not what you're used to. I'm not for the meek and I'm not for the weak.
And so you were doing this for how long?
Oh man, close to 15 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what were the circumstances under which you kind of fell back and decided this was?
When I ended up meeting my woman and we decided to settle down and tie that knot. And even when we had separated, I strayed away from it, but I always kept it kind of like in my repertoire, you know what I'm saying? But
separated, like you separated in the relationship?
Yeah, we went when the relationship
and
was
then got back together?
We had separated, got back together, and separated again.
Got it. Okay.
And
then you would go back to this job?
Exactly.
Oh wow.
Exactly. And so that's how it would work out.
How did you end up in this relationship? Getting so much on an almost industrial level, you kind of would almost think that you would be like invincible to falling for a chick. What was it?
Because I didn't cut off women that were not in the lifestyle. I still made myself available to women that were not in the lifestyle. You can't help like who you emotionally become involved with or you attached with or that your feelings develop for. And I started dating somebody that wasn't in the lifestyle.
Okay.
But I expressed to them where I come from, what I do, what I know, this and that. And they were into it somewhat. But like that's a little too extreme for me. I can't do the blah blah blah.
But they don't have to be around for it.
Yeah,
right?
Right, exactly.
But they hear the stories.
They hear the stories, right?
But is it maybe better to just, hey, when I like if you're a cop, you go to work, you got to shoot somebody. Do you tell your wife or do you leave your business at home? I mean, I almost feel like there's an argument for like just, hey, when I'm a dominatrix, I'm a male porn star, sex worker, whatever, but if you don't need to know about it.
If you're going to be in it and be in the vanilla, that's why there's a lot of times I've only seen vanilla relationships work with the men and the women. When the woman is trying to get something more.
Okay.
When it's the man trying to get something more, it's usually an issue unless they're both in the lifestyle already.
Got it.
Now, if she's already in the lifestyle and she knows what it entails with him being a dom, no problem. But if he's in a lifestyle and she's not, and he's trying to make her understand it, that's when the conflict comes involved. Because if she doesn't know nothing about it, there's nothing that you're going to be able to say to her to convince her it's okay for her to let you go just whoever and dominate whoever, then come back home to her.
I know some male porn stars who they are the breadwinner for their family. They go and they film 20, 25 porn scenes every month. And then they got a girl, and the girl takes care of the kids, takes care of the house, and they just go out there and just lay down on a day-to-day basis.
Some relationships
I think that
like
shit
that.
is so sick. I think that is so hard.
Some relationships is like that, though.
Yeah.
But I've never. Only women that allowed you to, that have allowed me to do, or that I want to say allowed, but that were cool with me to do with that, were in the lifestyle themselves.
Okay.